Hi, I'm Rob from HopZine.com. Thanks for joining me for another video beer review. This time we're looking at the most recent series of IPA is Dead bottles from BrewDog. All the beers are 6.7% ABV. The hops in question this time are an experimental hop from America called HBC, Galaxy from Australia, Moto Eku from New Zealand, and then Challenger from the UK. The first one that I'm going to be looking at today is HBC, this experimental hop from the US. So let's get it open and get it in the glass. I'm always interested to try a single hop IPA. I think it's always important as a beer kind of commenter, reviewer, whatever you want to call me. Don't call me that. Anyway, it's always interesting to kind of like expand your kind of knowledge of these hops. I mean, sometimes you think, oh yeah, I know what that hop's like, but I think single hops are a really good showcase of specific varieties. Anyway, the beer in the glass is a kind of slightly hazy, maybe a bit of chill haze on this. Oh no, wiping the condensation. Relatively clear looking beer. Pale amber, kind of slightly dirty gold looking colour. Head, I'll see if I can get a bit more. Not much of a head, as you can see. Slightly off white, maybe a slightly orangey yellowy tint to it. So a sniff. Ooh, interesting. Oh wow, that's really odd. There's a sweetness, there's a kind of like a sugary sweetness to it. There's a slightly dirty, sweaty smell. There's a pungent wildflower, kind of like dandelion flower aroma. Yeah, there's that kind of like slightly sweaty sock kind of element in there. Grapefruit, pineapple definitely, slightly overripe pineapple. But it's that sweetness, maybe a bit of grapefruit, but it's that must, that sweatiness, and then this sweetness along with the kind of citric hops, which are ruling this one. Interesting. It's kind of good and bad. I'm not sure about that kind of sweaty sock in there actually. Anyway, cheers. Let's dig in. Ooh. Oh. I mean, it speaks of all of its 6.7%. Initially, quite resinous. Nutmeg, maybe cayenne pepper, paprika, maybe like a slightly paprika that's been left open for a bit. Maybe a bit of sweet orange like a clementine or satsuma. Grapefruit, just like quite juicy. Maybe a juicy green apple, maybe like a golden delicious. So it's not a kind of not that acetaldehyde kind of horrible kind of Granny Smith. It's more of like a juicy kind of golden delicious. Maybe a bit of cantaloupe melon. At the back end becomes a bit more resinous, a bit more piney. And ending quite dry, with quite a pithy grapefruit. Yeah, dry and kind of rindy and pithy. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. I remember I have actually had this one before on keg at North Barring, Leeds. I remember it being sweeter on keg. I don't remember that. That dirty must of sweaty socks. Interesting. It's interesting. Is this? I've got very little knowledge of this hop. I have tried to do a bit of research online. I don't know where it's grown. Well, it's probably the Yakima Valley in Washington State, isn't it? Because I guess that's the main kind of area for growing American hops. I don't know much of any other beers that use this. I'd be really interested to see if I have actually tried any so far and what I thought of those. It's alright. I think it's something that maybe needs something else to sit next to it. Maybe some Amarillo, maybe Centennials, Simcoe, something like that. Just to take off that slightly unpleasant edge. As far as IPA goes, it's not bad, but it's not amazing. These beers are always a bit kind of polarising. So that's the first one. HBC, IPA is dead from BrewDog, 6.7% ABV. An interesting one, if not my favourite. I'll be interested to see what the rest are, and I hope you'll join me for another for the next one and the next one of this series. Anyway, I'm Rob from HopZine.com. I'll see you next time. Cheers.